Hello Gemini, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com, and this is a soulmate reading for Gemini. Now I'm recording this video at the end of October 2019. If you're watching it around now, then all good. But if you're watching it anytime in the future, if you've come across this reading, this video, then part of it or all of it is meant for you. And so my intention that I set before I make these readings, do these videos, is that whoever needs this message, whoever needs to hear this wisdom, whoever needs this message, gets to see the video. So whenever you're watching it, it's right for you. Now that might mean that it's all right for you, that it's all for you, or it might mean that just a part of it is a message that your higher self wants to get to you at the moment, right? And so take whatever resonates with you, leave the rest behind. The rest of it might be for someone else, right? And you've got your own problems, you don't need to take on other people's problems, and vice versa too. And so take over whatever resonates with you. If it does resonate with you, please leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. So Gemini, I've just picked a card out for you. This is like your overriding energy for this reading, Gemini. And we've got orphaned. Oh, poor Gemini, been orphaned. So yeah, what I'm picking up with this is maybe baggage, issues from being left. Maybe you've just gone through a breakup and you're having to emotionally detach from the person. Let's see what Colette Baron Reid has to say about this card. Oh, actually it was inverted, so the card was upside down in protection position. So this is what Colette says about this, because this is from her Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Orphaned. The shadow side of this card speaks to the essence of abandonment. Perhaps you feel a need to remain apart because intimacy is too threatening. It also warns against creating inappropriate family structures in order to conceal old wounds. It's time to address the unhealthy alliances that you've formed to make a decision to heal the past, You will not be abandoned by the world if you claim yourself as whole. Not all relationships are dysfunctional, and not all of them will disappoint you. Don't abandon yourself. You can connect to others in a healthy way once you recognize your patterns and consciously choose to interrupt them. Life wants to love you. Let it. Right, so you've got baggage. You've got baggage going on, Gemini. Maybe you don't even understand what it is, but you're constantly being left. You're constantly being disappointed. You're not getting what you want. Oh, my heart's breaking for you, Gemini. We've all been there though, hey? And so what came up when I was reading that within me is like patterns like codependency. You know, when you don't even know what it is that you're doing, but you just know that you keep on getting into relationships with the wrong kind of people, the people that can't give to you, the people that are doing the wrong thing by you, and you can't figure out what your part in that pattern is. So let's get deeper into that, Gemini, because we all want to stop that kind of business, don't we? So where are you at right now, Gemini, with your soulmate journey? So your soulmate relationship is like your it's that big relationship. It's the one, you know, it's the long-term relationship. It's our perfect match, our divine union. Some people call it the twin flame and say that soulmates are just a match in the moment. They're like lesson relationships. And to me, that's everybody. You know, everyone that you interact with in your life is a match to you in some way. They all give you lessons. They're all teaching you something about yourself. So I think the soulmate is the big relationship. So call it whatever you will. Twin flame, soulmate. This is your journey toward it, and this is where you're at right now, Gemini. And so whatever's happened, this is calling you to be okay about whatever's happened. Like, you might not like it, you might not have wanted it, but it's happened. And so just like calm yourself, quiet your heart about that, and accept what has happened. You've got communication coming in, so changes are going to happen. You've got something different coming. Communication is coming from the universe or from someone else, but be okay about it. I'm feeling like a lot of you are just going through a breakup, or just going through a breakup, or about to. You know, when you know you're about to break up a relationship, and just be okay about it. Soothe yourself. You know, it's difficult for everyone, whether you're the one breaking up or you're the one being broken up with. It's always difficult. You know, we have emotional attachments. There's all kinds of things that we've got to detach from when we're going through a breakup, and it's hard for anyone. Anyone's got a heart, and everyone's got a heart, you know, and so we all feel it when we're going through it. And so maybe you're going through, maybe you've just broken up and you're like, waiting on communication for them. Maybe they're hurting too much to even communicate with you, or maybe it's the other way around. But just be okay about where you are. Give them time to process. Give yourself time to process going through this grieving stage, no matter how long ago it was either. You know, we all grieve at different rates, we all grieve in different ways too, and so just be gentle on yourself. Be okay with yourself around this process, and around your process with your soulmate journey as well. If you keep on having similar kind of lessons, similar kinds of patterns in your relationships, and it's wearing you down, just be okay with yourself, like soothe yourself through that process. You are learning, Gemini. It's okay. Yep, you're going through a breakup, aren't you? Accept what is in detachment. So the more you can accept what has happened, accept that they're not your soulmate. They are not your soulmate. You wouldn't be going through this. You couldn't make them into your soulmate either. They just weren't, and that's okay. It's okay that they weren't. It's okay that you weren't their soulmate too. So don't convince yourself that you were okay. You were the right person for them, but they weren't the right person for you. That doesn't happen. The soulmate, you're both right for each other. So don't try and pretend that you were right for them, because you weren't. No, you weren't. And so just accept all of that. That will help with the detachment process. It will help with you like unlocking yourself from that emotional attachment, and give yourself time with that. You know, breakups, this grieving process, you know, we go through stages. If you're in this stage where you're focusing on all the negative parts of your partner and the relationship, that's okay. We need that. We need that processing time. We don't want to get into another relationship with those same problems. We need to process it. We need to figure out in our heads what it is we don't like about it, what we don't want again, how we got into that pattern, you know, how we got into that place in the first place, what pattern it was within ourselves. You'll get there eventually, but grieving is a process. We go through different phases. You might go through a phase where you're just seeing the bright side of it. You're seeing the positive side of it, and you might think you want them back. You're feeling that loss, you're feeling that sadness, you know. It's like this, the journey's like this, and just accept whatever hill or trough you're on at the moment emotionally, because it's all part of the detachment process. You're okay. You'll be okay, Gemini. You'll get through this. You've got someone waiting for you. See, and here we go. You've got someone amazing waiting for you, and just as I'm saying that, I'm picking out the cards. Your intuition, follow your knowing. There's joy ahead for you. There's an amazing relationship ahead for you. You're on the path to it. Yeah, you might have more things to learn, because you've got those patterns of abandonment. You've got that feeling of abandonment, that there's something else going on there. You've got a pattern that's not serving you, Gemini, but you have got great things ahead. So just know that. Follow your path. You are being led to it. Follow your intuition, because you do have a joyful relationship ahead of you, right? So there's a glimmer of hope there. Now, what about the other person? What have they got going on? Whether this is your soulmate, or whether it's the person you've just broken up with or are breaking up with, or your recent past relationship. What have they got going on? This is the one you've broken up with, or at the moment in this breakup, with sabotage and simplicity. And so they're making it complicated in the head. They're really complicating things. Maybe they're trying to tie themselves in with you again. Maybe they're not wanting to let go, and they're trying to make it complicated in a court case. You know, when people try and cling on like that, and then they'll try and make it all complicated. So maybe you're going through a divorce or something, or there's kids involved, and they're trying to make it complicated. And just know that's their reaction. That's a sabotage for sure, but they're doing it because they're wanting to cling on, like they're wanting to cling to you. They don't want to let go. They're having the same trouble of detaching too. And so, yeah, I think I'm really feeling that you had a very strong emotional bond. It might not have been a healthy emotional bond, you know. I've been in relationships like that, especially when I was healing. I was in relationships with like that. I call them wound mates. When you've got a similar kind of wound, and the emotional bond is very, very strong. If you're both going through the same shit, and you're kind of supporting each other through that, and you understand each other because you both know that similar kind of victim role, the emotional attachment is extremely strong then, and it's very hard to let go of. And if one person isn't wanting to do that work within themselves, and you might be finding it a little bit easier, but it's still not easy to detach emotionally. And so, yeah, they're sabotaging it. They're trying to cling on. They're trying to make it complicated. They're trying to put, throw a spanner into the works to make it it seems like they're trying to make it difficult for you, but really they're not. They're trying to hold on. They're trying to hold on. They're doing whatever they can to hold on, because the pain's too hard. Oh Gemini, what is happening? Eek. But they're also waking up and learning to love themselves. They're not learning to love themselves yet. They're not at that stage yet, but they're waking up that they have to do that. They're waking up to it. They can't keep on getting the love from you. You're probably a big drain to you. Yeah, a very needy person getting all the love from you, but they weren't loving themselves, and you realize you couldn't keep on providing that love for them. You can't be that person for them. It's exhausting being that, you know. Life is all about learning to love yourself, not going out and trying to find someone to love you when you don't love yourself, because then you're just being a drain. And you will find other people that don't love themselves too, and you won't be able to love each other as much as you think that you're loving them. Not you, Gemini, but as much as they thought that they were loving you, they were quite a drain to you. You will have been getting love in some respects, but not really. When someone's not loving themselves, they can't love another properly. So they're waking up to that eventually. It's kind of they've had that wound poked, huh? So that's where they're being led to next is self-love. So they're going to be okay. Don't feel responsible for them. I know you've been taking a lot of responsibility for them emotionally, and providing them with a lot, especially emotionally. So it's okay. They're going to be okay. It's good. They're on a path of growth. Don't worry about that. You don't need to feel responsible for them. Okay? Just look after yourself and your process and letting go. They're also learning to go with the flow. Like they might be fighting the flow at the moment, but they are learning to go with the flow and start including themselves. They're starting to learn to do it for themselves, to provide like the self-love thing, to provide what they need for themselves. This is a good thing for them. You're setting them free, you're letting them do it. So I'm really picking up with that abandonment card. It's like codependency, that kind of thing, like a pattern where you're providing too much for everyone. Maybe you've been like a mom or a dad to them, you know, like always looking after them, doing so much for them and not receiving back that much. That's such a really unhealthy relationship where it's like parent-child kind of thing. You don't want a relationship like that. You want an equal relationship. So you don't need to give so much, Gemini. You don't need to look after someone so much. Imagine being in a relationship instead where you're with someone that is just like you, can give as much as you. You don't need to help them. You don't need to be like the counselor or the therapist or the mom, or you don't need to be doing all of these things because they can do that for themselves. And they're saying that this person that you've broken up with or are breaking up with or did break up with, they can and they will look after themselves. They just need to learn how to do it first. They need to learn that they're a strong enough person, that they do have it inside of themselves to do it. They need to stand in their power, and they can't do that with you there because they just lean on you. They just lean on you instead, and they can't do that. So set them free. Know that they're going to be okay, right? They're going to have some rough patches, but that's okay. That's how we learn. So, wow. Oh, I'm sorry you're going through this, Gemini. It's a bit full on, but you know, you've got great things coming. Just remember, you've got a joyful relationship coming, and so you need to sort your part out in this, that pattern that you've had of thinking that you're not enough, so you need to provide, you need to take care of someone too. You don't need to take, but you're having a relationship with an adult, right? Adults can look after themselves. You want someone that can look after themselves, not a one-sided relationship. You want a reciprocal relationship, someone that can give you as much as you give them. Someone that can uplift you as much as you uplift them. Imagine what life would be like, yeah, with a relationship like that. That's what you're headed towards. And so you need to get your mind, once you've got through this grieving process, get your mind fixated on that, because you've got joyful things ahead of you. You've got a great relationship ahead of you. Gemini. Oh, you've got like the most heart-wrenching, you got the most heart-wrenching reading out of all the signs so far. I've still got 2 more to do. That's why my voice is scratching out. I've been recording these all day. So I'm so sorry you're going through that, but you know, this too will pass. You will get through this. You'll find peace with it. But not only that, you're going to learn from it. You're going to learn what those patterns have been so that you can let go of it. Remember this card, this abandonment thing. They weren't right for you and they haven't abandoned you, and it's okay. It's all okay. Good things are going to come from this. They weren't right for you, but they've given you a big lesson. They're really showing you clearly what you've been doing. And it's up to you to use that gift that they've shown you now to see what your patterns are so that you don't repeat it again. You don't keep on doing the same thing and end up in the same place like this. This abandoned person, you've got so much love that the universe wants to give you. Like I think it's said, I think Colette said that, like there's so much love that people want to give you, but stop going to the people that can't give you that just don't have it within them to give you. Realize that you've got so much to give. You deserve to be in a relationship with someone that has that to give. So stop finding the ones that haven't got that and then trying and hoping that they can give it to you. Find the ones that do. And yet the only way to find the ones that do is just realize just how much love you've got. Stop giving it away to people that haven't got it for themselves. Give it to yourself. Look after yourself in your own life. Focus on creating something for yourself, making yourself happy, feeling fulfilled in yourself, and then your soulmate will come along because they'll be doing the same thing for themselves too. Right? If you'd like a private soulmate reading with me, then they're $30 off at the moment. They're 3 pages long. I get those out within 24 hours. And so that's your higher self going into what you need to let go of, or what you need to focus on, who you need to forgive, how that is, what patterns you've got going on that are causing these problems within your relationship patterns, so that you're aware of that and how to release that. New focus, whatever it is, belief changes, whatever it is, your higher self knows your path to your soulmate. And so those readings are all about that, right? So yeah, I get those out within 24 hours. You're welcome to order one of those. If you like this video, maybe you don't like what you're going through at the moment, but if you like this video and it's helped you somewhat and you resonate with it, please give it a thumbs up, click like on it, and subscribe to my channel. I do weekly, daily reads. I do Psychic Cafe every day, pretty much every day anyway. You can join me for that. I do weekly reads for each star sign, full moon reads, new moon reads for each star sign, and then these random reads like this. And so whenever I'm next given the nudge to do more of these soulmate readings, if you're a subscriber, you will get to see the video, the next installment to this story of your path towards your soulmate, Gemini. And so thank you for watching, and I hope you get through this okay. Yeah, if I can help you out, please get one of my readings and claim that $30 off, and I'd love to help you out to get over this, whatever you're going through, and move you forward to more joy, to that joyful relationship that you deserve, Gemini. Thanks, bye.